All right, folks, we are back in the new year, January 2nd today, and we've had what a switch in weather. So prior to the holidays, we were coming into winter with hardly any snow, and we went out of town for Christmas, and while we were gone, we got our first major snowstorm of the year. And currently, the temperatures are below zero. At the same time, we're having really high winds today, so we have a below zero wind chill. That's not the only problem. Right now, we're dealing with drifting in the driveway. So, unfortunately, when we were gone, a lot of that snow that fell, we had about 1 foot of snow, and that has piled up into about over a 2-foot snow drift right behind me, right in front of the door. So Brian is working on getting the snowblower attached. One of the things he wanted to do before we left on vacation was to attach the snowblower to the tractor, but it didn't get done, and he's doing it right now. Our dog sitter is on the way to bring Beagle back, and she won't be able to get up the driveway. We got home at 2 o'clock in the morning last night, and we had to hike up the hill with our luggage because we could not make it up the driveway. The snow had drifted in multiple feet high in drifts. Look at this behind us here. It's hard to see the scale, but these snow drifts are very, very high. Right now, the driveway is not passable for any vehicle except for our gigantic snowblower. And that's what Brian is getting ready to test out right now. But I think Vigo's gonna get here before the driveway is ready. So I'm gonna go down and meet him down there. So you can look down the hill here and see my car stuck at the corner of the driveway. We barely made it to the corner. There was a gigantic drift in the road as well as at the entrance to the driveway. And the hill is cleared of snow right now in front of the beehives. But last night we were hiking through snow that was 2 feet deep. Look at the drift on this side of the retaining wall. This is the way we came up to the house last night, and there's no evidence that we even walked over here. That's how much the snow has blown through this area. We had a little bit of an adventure coming back from the airport last night. First of all, we weren't sure if the car was going to start because Brian had alerted me that accidentally the key fob to the Jeep went through the washer and dryer at my mom's house, so we weren't sure if we were even going to be able to start the car. And when the pilot landed the airplane at the airport, he said, "Welcome to Denver, where it's 5 degrees." So the temperatures were already very cold last night when we landed at 11:30 p.m. And by the time we got home, it was 2 o'clock a.m., still 5 degrees, high winds and deep snow, and it was definitely an adventure getting back to the house. Carrying our luggage on our backs. Was definitely too tired to get that on camera last night. Vigo should be here any minute, so I'm looking for him and his ride, and I told our dog sitter she could just drop him off at the bottom of the driveway. hill. Doing? You barking? Are you on your Vigo bed and you're full of snow and you're barking? Oh my gosh. So Vigo's back now. Brian's got the snowblower going. He's clearing out the driveway. And while our adventures have a happy ending, we wanted to mention that not everybody's in our Colorado neighborhood have had a happy ending lately. I'm sure you guys are aware of the fires that have been going on, and you know, it's hits very, very close to home for us because this is an area, even though it's not in our neighborhood, you know, it's 20 miles downhill from the mountain, and we really weren't at risk for the fire to get us. It's affected friends and community members that we know, and we know people who have lost their home. And I actually was speaking to our dog sitter who dropped off Vigo, and she was in the Costco while the fire was overtaking the building. She was actually there at the time she was telling me about it. She said it was frightening. She said coming out the doors, it was like an apocalypse. You couldn't see anything. And she went down there yesterday. She lives up here, and she went down there yesterday to go rescue animals from people's that had gotten separated from their animals. So she was on a mission to help people reunite with their animals. And this story isn't anywhere as close to being over. Here's the local news. She let me know that the power company has denied a downed power line. So their narrative of a power line went down and started the fire apparently may not be true. They are looking into a shed fire that was right in the vicinity that happened, that was documented on video, that we don't know the story of it, but it's possible that there was illegal fire activity the day of these 100-mile-an-hour winds, and that might be the cause of the fire. So there is an investigative team that's looking into the actual cause of the fire, which may not be a downed power line after all. So I'm not sure if you guys have heard that part of the story, but there's a little bit of insider information that I'm getting from local community member. And but we just really feel for the families that have been affected. You know, it's definitely the community that we're familiar with. This is where we do all of our shopping. This is where Brian drives to work. The fire was just miles from his work. You know, he works at a big hospital, was not affected. It was not in the path of fire, but it was very, very close by. So it's just so real for us. Even though our home wasn't in danger, it just feels like it was our neighborhood, because this is where we go to do a lot of our living on a day-to-day basis. So we're going to put a link in the video description if you want to donate. There's a There are places like the Red Cross if you feel like you want to contribute in any way. We'll put some links below in our video description if you want to reach out and do something like that. But it's just one of those things that you have to always be mindful of when we have high winds like that, how dangerous a fire situation can be. It's very unfortunate that the snow came the day after the fire. Just so sad that we didn't have that snow cover before those winds kicked up. And it was so difficult to fight. So I don't know what else to say about it other than it's just such a tragedy. And I haven't even seen the area yet. We don't know how Brian's gonna get to work because that's exactly the route that he travels to go to work. He drives right through that fire-stricken area. So he might have to go around, I'm not sure. But anyway, it's very sad times for us here. And I'm sure people are gonna be working on coming back together and rebuilding for a long time, and we hope to be a part of that. So thanks guys for tuning in. We wanted to let you know that we're safe, and we have heard from a lot of you guys have reached out to us asking if we're okay. We really appreciate your thoughts and concerns about us. It was really nice and touching to hear, that you were thinking about us during this time. Although it did not affect our immediate vicinity, it's definitely affecting people that we know and care about. So it's shocking just to be a witness to it, even though we're not directly affected by it. We definitely wanted to let you know we appreciate you thinking about us and checking in on us. And we got home safe from our holiday travels, and we're enjoying the snow right now, and we're glad to have winter with us, and we're happy to share with you guys what's going on. So we're gonna keep you abreast of the situation. If anything else interesting happens that we learn about the fire, we'll be sure to let you know. But just interesting that there might be more to it than what we heard initially in the news. Anyway, Brian's clearing up the bottom half of the driveway, and it looks like my car might be free. My car might be free soon. So we definitely had our adventures last night climbing up the hill at 4 o'clock in the morning. And that sun feels hot, so I think the temperatures are supposed to spin around, supposed to warm up this week. But take care, everybody. Wishing you a happy new year, and definitely feel free to check out our links in the video description if you want to contribute to the rebuilding effort for our local community. Thanks again. Bye now.